Here's the Radiant band.
Their recent success. Yep. And in some, you could kind of say, in some degree, it's kind of the honeymoon phase still with Roger. Right. So we'll see how long they can make that last, if not the entire season.
Yeah, it's been around about 20 change. Is this not finally getting through to the other teams? The model of consistency is the road to success?
Yes, but I think there's still a lot of dissatisfaction when you have such a big goal, and especially a year-end goal in TI. You want to be your absolute best for that tournament, and I think no matter what, we're always going to have those roster shakeups in Dota 2. But I would agree. I think that we're getting to a point where people begin on so many teams and playing with so many different players that they're beginning to realize the grass is not actually that much greener on the other side. There's always going to be problems that you have to fix, and in order to fix those, you have to actually stick with the roster. So yes, I would agree. There is a movement towards stability.
You have to win tournaments. That's the first thing.
But, I mean, that's part of the problem, isn't it? If you don't win after a few tournaments, you want to change, right? Because otherwise, what else do you do?
No, that's true. That's definitely true.
Okay, let's get into our first draft of the second semi-final and find out who has the advantage.
Oh my. What do these teams feel about Beastmaster these days?
Beastmaster, they I don't feel like both of these offlaners, we aren't actually seeing too much of it right now. I think it's maybe just a little bit too slow for either one of them, either one of the teams rather, not necessarily the players themselves. I was thinking about the DK. What led me to that was the Enchantress, that both teams actually counterpick the DK with the Enchantress offlane. We've seen that a couple times, and Liquid also counterpick it against the Terrorblade as well. So I was wondering if we're going to see at least one Enchantress game in this best of 3 between the two teams that pick it the most.
Interesting to see Virtus Pro banning out the gyro. They had the first pick if they wanted it. I guess they didn't want to pick it first.
They're trying to help us out. We're sick and tired of seeing that hero.
Well,
let's be real.
It's the hero they've played the most in the last 3 months.
Virtus Pro.
There you go.
Always have that flex pick, so the Sand King is not necessarily locked down to the offlane, so Virtus Pro can try and get that Enchantress if they want to try and match it against the DK when it comes to that mid game. The reason being, you've got this pure damage against a very tanky range hero. It's certainly nice to be able to have. But overall, the Sand King is just one of those great team fighters, and no surprise whatsoever that Elder Titan is the response, because I think ET is the superior when it comes to nailing the laning phase. Like, that's what ET does best. I think ET, Chen, like those are the heroes that are sort of the definitive lane dominators right now.
Oh, I'm looking at Disruptor to be picked or banned after this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, after all, in the matchup that we just saw in the other semi-final, the Disruptor is one of the kings of teamfight. And there was a reason that
they go for an early DP as well, though, right? Because if that's not picked, it's going to get banned as well.
Yeah, the
early AA. Okay.
I was going to say most of the time the ancient apparition still up there in the pool inhibits the Death Prophet pickup. VP actually pick it themselves here, liking it against the higher strength heroes and the high regen of the DK. Both these heroes are going to be a bit susceptible to it. And on top of that, it's the counter pick that we were talking earlier. I think it was Secrets who were the ones who were doing this. I think I brought it up yesterday. Ancient Apparition versus the ET aggro dual lanes. That's how you beat it. You've got Chilling Touch on 3 different heroes. ET, you can run around and get as much spirit damage as you want. You can try and punch people in the face, but when they're hitting you back with, you know, plus 50 damage on every single one of these heroes, and it's slowing you as well, there's no way for you to actually win that lane anymore.
I can't believe that was buffed, by the way. Chilling Touch. Even though it's not that recent, I felt like it's always been this amazing skill, especially in the very early laning stage. Now that adds that it's kind of like a mini cold snap.
Yeah, you give it that slow, and then it's like you actually can hit all of your Chilling Touch charges once you get that first one in.
Now, do you think because they picked up AA that they might be thinking about getting a DP for themselves, so Team Liquid might have to ban that if they, of course, don't want to match up against it?
Yeah, it's entirely possible. You like the Spirit Train against the Dragon Knight, even if the physical damage of the Exorcism isn't as effective. I think you're a little bit scared of Elder Titan, though, and what he provides in that minus armor. It makes all these heroes a lot squishier, a lot more susceptible to burst down. And we've already seen in the group stage teams trying to establish ways to deal with the Death Prophet by picking up some of these lead-up picks, you know, being able to get like this direct, huge amount of burst image to be able to take that hero out of the fight before she could get off her Yule Scepter and Spirit Drain. So just be cautious though, you're completely right. They're going to take out that Death Prophet.
That's another reason we've seen Eon Disc a couple times on this hero.
That's for sure.
When that item first came out, I did not think Death Prophet would be a holder of it, but it seems to be one of the most consistent.
Yeah, any of these heroes that have a really important ultimate that they need to be able to survive to either cast or let it out some more.
5 seconds remaining.
Don't usually see that many Veno bans, but there's an obvious Veno player on the other side here, so
always an option.
Evil Geniuses fell prey to that one.
They did. And Vodafone do not want to be going down the same road.
And there's nothing about the DK that says you can't run Venomancer in your safe lane. You would say Venomancer, DK, that sounds like a super early game, fast-paced lineup, but that's exactly what's being run right now.
Either of these teams play Abaddon, or Abaddon, as most like to say.
I think, again, Abaddon is a nice protecting hero, but you need a reason to get that Abaddon, get that protection. After all, Evil Geniuses tried to run it against the Venomancer because of the way that the sustain offered, as well as being able to remove the Venomous Gale poison. But I think it's one of those heroes that's quite situational in the offlane. You need a really good reason to run it.
Not a first pro hero.
5 seconds remaining.
It has been run once in the last month or so by Team Liquid, but again, not really a Liquid hero either.
What I kind of like about the DK, and it's why I brought it up early in this matchup, is also because of the Juggernaut and the way that I think both these teams actually really like Juggernaut. Ramses and Miracle are two signature players on that team, and I think it fits the pace of the game really well.
Yeah, this was a pick at Katowice recently when they played OG, the Oracle.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, so one of those heroes, kind of counterintuitive when you think about it. That's really good against AA because it outlasts the what's his ultimate called?
Ice Blast?
Ice Blast, thank you. I'm a caster, by the way. But being able to just regen through that is huge, especially for a lot of these heroes like Dragon Knight, a great example of which. But Doom's going to be picked for VP. The question is, who is the duo here with Oracle? Who do you guys like? I mean, when I think of it, it's Huskar. There's no way Huskar's going to pick this game with them.
I think it's not necessarily a duo focus. I think you're right on the money when you say it's a counter to the Ancient Apparition. Whether it's, like as you said, for those who don't know, the interaction is if the Ice Blast wears out during the ultimate of the Oracle, then you actually get all the healing. And failing that, even if it hits a little bit after you already cast that spell, it doesn't matter because you've casted, like, you've saved somebody and given them time to be able to get off all of their abilities. And Ice Blast is supposed to be one of those that cuts it short, that doesn't let you have that opportunity. It gives you the quick match.
Priority hero just doesn't. I mean, Doom takes forever to cast. I feel like it's way too important to put on somebody that needs a decent amount of farm, which is typically your position 3. They will be going for another Terrorblade, so Ramsey's special again. One of his strongest heroes, historically speaking at least.
I will agree with you. I think Doom is better fitted to the 4 position right now. I think he gains less out of the off lane. His items aren't as important as, say, like the signature Blink Dagger on this Sand King will be for this game, because Team Liquid is going to push your towers. They're going to take your objectives. They're going to try and limit the amount of map control that you have to be able to work with this Terror, like, because it is a hero that needs to be able to ramp up a bit. It's strong in every part of the game.
Doom to not be a 4. He wants it to be 3 and above.
Why is that?
The talent change, the bonus gold is now 15. You're never going to get there if you're freaking position 4. That sounds miserable, especially with the bounty changes. Every change that has been made to Dota is to nerf the position 4 Doom. Just think about it.
Let's not forget the memeiest change of all, that level 25 talent, 100% cleave.
It's so good.
On a single target focused hero.
So good.
Infernal Blade as well as Doom are single target abilities, and you
So
get
good.
cleave.
He needs it. He needs all the help he can get. Good lord.
It's quite strange actually, looking back through some of the matches that Virtus.pro have run this game. It's run as a hybrid. It's a 3-stroke 4 in almost every game that they play. Usually alongside another hero that's also a 3-4. They had an Naga in the last time they played it. The time before that, that was a Brood game, so that kind of doesn't count.
Yeah, Brood games never count.
And the time before that, they actually ran an Earth Spirit, a Shadow Demon, and a Doom. And they kind of 3-4'd it as well. So it seems like they don't necessarily have a hard position money-wise.
Yeah.
This is pretty interesting. Virtus.pro, we knew they had to get some sort of kind of early game team fighting type hero, something that looks to be able to burst people down, especially against the Oracle. Puck was the ban from Team Liquid. Fully agree with that. You need VP to take a kind of a 4-man aggression with their lineup.
It's tiny, by the way.
Yeah.
The reason it hasn't been picked a huge amount. It's been picked 11 times so far at the Bucharest Major, and it has 2 wins.
Oh, he's better than that. He's due for a win, is what you're saying.
18% right now.
There's no way he's that bad.
He's much better than 18%.
Yeah.
Right, that's for sure.
That's pretty crazy, actually. I mean, he did get some significant nerfs, I want to say. The tree grab cooldown was ridiculously nerfed in terms of cooldown, I believe, in the last patch. But other than that,
most of the issues have been because it's been first phase picked, isn't it? And it then can be counted. I think teams have suddenly worked out how to deal with that now.
I'm not fully convinced that this Tiny is going to have a great game. It's very difficult to be able to burst down both this DK and the Lycan, and the Oracle in the right place can counter what you want to be able to do, which is get yourself a numbers advantage here. It's kind of cool that they have both SK and there's the Miracle Invokers. So we're going to have the mind control Dragonite. We've seen this a number of times, them providing the old switcheroo where they throw that Dragonite into the off lane and grab themselves a carry type mid for Miracle.
I mean, dude, can it get any higher? We're at $1 million major. We're in the semi-final with two of the best teams in the world. And one of the greatest players of all time picks out an Invoker.
We've seen this before where there's an Invoker pick and then they just utterly lose.
You were the one who suggested an Invoker pickup. We were talking about between games, and it was specifically against the Terrorblade for that reason.
No, I do like. I was going to say, despite what I just said, I do like the Invoker. I mean, we're on
saved himself.
I just don't want to see Quas play. Please, no Quas.
No. Cap. Prediction.
I actually can't say no to a Miracle Invoker in this game. I think it's a good matchup here too. I think it's going to be a good Invoker game. So I'll say Liquid.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the crowd and Cap. Liquid. Invoker. Really, not just Liquid. Just
So, we are ready. Are you ready out there? Are you really ready for the semi-final? Because it's about to kick off, ladies and gentlemen. It's Liquid versus Virtus Pro.
What a beautiful matchup. Liquid versus VP. Winner gets into the grand final, but both teams very secured points for the international. Purge. We get to watch an Invoker, and we're going to watch an Invoker that isn't Quas Wex.
Thank God. Did not do so well during the group stage, and I think this is the right game for Exort as well. There wasn't that much obviousness maybe that Liquid is going to go for this, but between having Dragonite as initiator, even Oracle's first skill Fortune's End, and obviously Echo Stamp, they can actually set up these Sunstrike kills, and it makes their ganking so much better, which is what's so cool about what they did with this pick, because VP's AA as well as Sand King, it was the most obvious, we're going to kill your heroes in burst fashion. So Oracle gives them that solution against that, and then the other side, they're also going to be able to do it themselves.
Yep. And I can't wait to see the combinations that come out from both these sides. High quality teams, so high quality Dota. Strap yourselves in, it's Virtus Pro. We're already on the hunt inside the dire jungle. You'll hit with the Sunstrike, so first point of damage getting into solo, but this was just VP having a bit of a wander around, trying to force Team Liquid off the runes. But at the end of the day, it's guarding mission more than anything else.
Yep, no problem at all for Liquid, and their lanes should be pretty normal. The mid of the VP side is going to be a tiny, so not very much armor.
For once,
on him.
we're in agreement.
He might have a little trouble here against an Invoker, but he should be able to get tons of last hits. It all just kind of comes down to HP trades and seeing who can get a kill with rotations.
Now let's actually just have a quick look through our lane, especially as we have ourselves a small pause. So it is Tiny in the middle lane going against Miracle's Invoker. That then puts Ramses on the bottom lane as the Terrorblade. He'll be battling up against what is a dual lane currently, which is Mind Control's DK and GH. We saw just how great he was with the stacking of that small side camp next to the bottom lane and then just gaining such a huge amount of damage. So watch those camps very closely. up towards the top lane. It puts Matamaman onto the Lycan. He'll be babysat by Kuro on the Oracle. And that leaves Roger as the roaming SK, Boots and Clarity's first. Pasha off lane as the Doom. So you will actually have the 3-position Doom bringer, even if he does become a hybrid. And then last but not least, Solo, the Navi.
Lanes look pretty good. I would say both teams are fairly happy in lane. I think the lane of Dragon plus Elder just in performance we saw tournament where Elder Titan just kind of dumpstered the Terrorblade in lane. He's got a lot of armor, but if you get enough damage, you can chase him down and out-harass him easily, especially with your passive, which will reduce a lot of his base armor. And then in the offlane, I think VP has a little bit of an advantage, maybe a moderate advantage. Having a Sand King as well as a Doom. Doom is conventionally not the strongest offlaner, but in games like this, where he's against a melee hero, it's a really nice advantage because you can do a lot of magic damage yourself using Inferno Blade, and you can just pressure Lycan like crazy before he hits 6. He's going to have a lot of regen, but the trade should almost always go in Doom's advantage.
Yeah, it's not like Oracle's going to harass him out of the lane, right?
Exactly.
This isn't a New King style of hero unless you look for that final little dose of damage that can come from him, so...
Or Invoker.
That's
the only scary part for VP playing in that lane. And where AA goes is going to be pretty interesting. He may start in the mid lane to give a bigger advantage against the Invoker, or he may end up just shifting all the way bottom to protect Terrorblade, which is what it seems like it's going to be. But I think this is a lane that ET is really happy about, because TB is a melee hero, and AA is the ranged one, and it's going to be a lot of ET punching AA in the face.
That is not going to be a happy time for AA. Yes, give me a lot of ice shattering on the bottom.
Yes.
But I still want to wait and see if Solo's going to block up that camp. So it's this little side one. GH already getting heavy into Ramsey, doing damage with Micro. The Dragon Tail starting to begin with. Or Courier. Solo needs one more hit. He won't find it on the other side of the tree line. And GA is still using that plus 10 damage from his Spirit previously to bring Solo down. So Consumable's already being burnt a little bit. Keep your eyes on Miracle. He did go for Sunstrike to start with. So this heavy damage, you have to watch the side lanes. You have to keep your ears out for the Sunstrike.
With that said, no one's getting a lot of blast hits at the start here. He's got 80 damage and he has crawling blades, so him missing last hits is basically not going to happen, but he does have to be a bit worried about positioning. This is definitely the action lane on the bot lane here between Liquid as well as VP, but there is always the threat of a kill on the top lane, as long as there is a little bit of harass, and if SK ends up approaching at the right time when somebody's a bit low, it could be a kill on somebody like Matamaman.
This is a terrific lane so far. I know we're only a minute and a half in, but he's 9-5 for the CS against Miracle's 2-1. This is not the way Miracle really wants to stop this lane.
Makes sense though. Invoker's base damage is not great, the Exort helps, but against an 80 damage Tiny, it's just not even close to the same. But once Miracle pulls away a little bit in levels, he's going to deal way more harass to no one, then no one's going to be able to deal back. But then it comes down to Tiny's advantage of being able to toss back Miracle to a potential support. So if Sand King roams over, it's definitely a possible Invoker kill.
Damn, that damage, GH with the howl, pop. Cannot escape. Solo knew before he used his TP scroll to go back to the tier 1 tower. Was a little bit. The dual offlane in Liquid is so heavily influenced by this Elder Titan.
And again, the large camp isn't blocked here. It's fully spawned, it hasn't been stacked yet, and it's going to be a bit before Liquid can stack. But even without that, they still did really well.
This is Virtus Pro. Like, it's... We saw this on the main stage yesterday. Virtus Pro most definitely saw it. They have to try and counter this in some way, but how do you do it? Do you just try and have a crack up at the top? Do you play? Do you allow the levels to come in? Right now they're winning on CS. All three of the cores of the 2-digit mark already, while Liquid are only just about to claim that with Miracle. Double damage found.
But it is offset by kills and it's going to change everything. Makes it seem about even. So, well, be at the lane bit here. The kill continue for Liquid side. I don't think they really care that much. They're getting completely outlaned right now because they can turn out kills later with good ganks. And Roger does his first rotation here. Smoke is pop. Got 2 points in toss on Tiny, so Miracle's got to be careful, and we'll see if he can prevent this kill from happening.
That's still position perfectly to get around and throw Miracle back.
The hardest part is Miracle sensing when there's danger. Runs forward at a weird time. He's going to read this, and he's going to realize that gank is coming. And instead, they might just have to do a toss forward on the SK into an avalanche follow-up, but that's going to be hard on damage.
Sunstrike onto Solo, real trouble. Solo's dropping down low. One more attack from Mind Control. Will do it. He's in the trees, trying to block himself out. Won't work, however. But they're both GH and Mind Control limping away to safety.
It's a great attempt by A trying to block, prevent Mind Control from getting the kill, but even gets to eat his planted Ironwood branch in success, so pretty good for Liquid.
Easy regeneration.
Aqua is picked up on Invoke now, so his armor advantage is even higher on the mid lane. His damage is now pretty much around where Tiny's is, so we're going to see last.
I think Jay maybe a little bit went down, but didn't have a tormentor. Yep, true. But in trouble. There's your little bit of extra heal. Kuro keeps him alive. Matubman is the poison.
That was such a sick play on Liquid side. Matubman was in trouble for a long time there. He used the wolves to slow down Roger's ability to get close to even land the Burrow Strike. And as soon as the Infernal Blade hit, was at the same time that Kuro used Fortune's End, which basically stops all the damage over time that Infernal Blade deals.
Well, he's having to do it again once more. The jumping comes through. SK, Matumba needs space to get it out. The Howl will get that bow. Taking down so quickly. That's that Kuro nuke coming into play. Pasha wants to go for more, but his Scorched Earth is just worn out, so he'll start his back. Sunstrike is off cooldown. Level 3 on that one. This hold him in position. The Wolves are staying with Pasha, but they won't toss it out. It wouldn't be enough for a kill. Not yet.
So, still doing a great job of fighting and slaying. The Oracle is working so well against Doom in the laning stage, and it's going to be just as good later.
They're going on Ramses. Really just trying to push him down. Solo gives it Chilling Touch bonus effects. The ET Spirit comes out. Ramses will think twice about it.
Go for the stomp, but it's going to be way off. Yep. Pretty costly usage there for G8. He doesn't have that in the early game. But they can still use the Shrine, maybe.
And use that mana too. 80 mana for every single time he wants that spirit down. Starts soaking up the extra damage.
And while Liquid's off is going so well. They're going to be safe on their safe lane and just put Matumba Man into the jungle. Because he can jungle still pretty rapidly, especially with Feral Impulse. He tanks, him and his wolves do a bunch of damage, and he will still get the gold. In the time, Crow just hides for farm. And experience, mostly.
Yeah. Probably get a very powerful Oracle, get that early from...
With that though, I mean, Doom's gonna free farm. So, I mean, if it's a fast 6 and then turn kills every time he gets Doom, it's gonna be huge for VP. That's one of the things about Doom. That he gives you a fairly reliable kill every single time that Doom is up, you know, every 2.5 minutes.
Yeah. That's the old phrase, right? This delete one here before the fight begins because they have to deal with the Doom. ET is now jumped up to the top lane. Thanks to the Observer Ward from this pro, they are fully aware the GH has done the rotation. And Kuro's got his own aggressive ward down, so he also knows that Roger is not staying around. In fact, it's SK who TP's down the bottom lane trying to add pressure to mind control.
That looks like such a good TP. Like, if you know that there's 3 heroes in the lane you're in, it's time for you to leave, because now you know there's not an extra hero on the bot lane, and he had just TP'd top, but they didn't quite initiate that perfectly. You probably should have wrapped around to get an initiation off in the DK, because they maybe could have gotten that kill. And instead, they're going to alternate this and go for them.
They're coming after Miracle. It's already moving into the what is giving VP all that ground vision they want to, so the Spirit in the stop needs to create space. Able to get double assault on burst. Miracle wants to find the cold feet will trigger on it. Roger. And somebody warned off the from Miracle. It's able to connect. VP were the instigators. But they're the ones bearing the dead.
Very good plays by them. And on the opposite side of the map, Pasha was a smidgen away from getting Doom, but ends up using Scorched Earth a little bit earlier there, so now it's going to be even harder for him to kill Lycan if he does want to chase him down. Now that they're in this 1v1 matchup. Grab with Scorched Earth. Maybe he'll be able to. He's definitely thinking about him. He's got to be really careful right now.
Holding it for now. No TP support will come. Elder Titan doesn't have one of it. And Kuro already just burned his to go to the mid. So ET has to walk back up to the top.
Using echolocation.
Soul Ring's kind of an interesting Doom build here. Helps him basically cast Devour whenever he wants, and also really abuse his creep nuke. Most of the time he afforded, it's only 50 mana for some of these abilities, so with the Soul Ring he can just do an Inferno Blade and a Thunderclap all the time just to do easy harass. The smart way to play the hero position in lane.
There's a little bit of damage by Ramses. I want to say on the bottom tower when he burned his Metamorphosis, but it was purely to engage into mind control. But thanks to the two, and okay, now also Dragon and Form being burned by mind control. Down by Caustic. The high movement speed anyway from the ET Spirit just lets him keep running. Roger. Overwatch gave him a little bit of extra information if he wants to keep the chase going, but he does not have the movement to get there.
I'm pretty sure VP dropped that kill completely. Doom did not use Thunderclap. I'm pretty sure he had it before he got dumped in. GH ends up surviving, so at least they didn't use Doom, but I would wait PC to have pretty dominant control of the lanes right now.
Yeah. Try and stay on top. As far as the net worth goes, Mind Control's having a good time on bottom. Keeping Terrorblade as low as he can, even though Ramses does have the 1 charges available.
Yeah, his lane is definitely going well on Dragon. Every time he attacks the tower, it's 100 damage. But I think Roger's also getting a lot done here, constantly around. Staring at me in Matumba Man whenever he spots him.
Heavy rotation stop. The top of is going to trigger a shapeshift. They're going to look for the spear on top of Doom. Thanks to Fortune's end, they can hold him in position to get the follow-up stomp, and there is no way for Pash just to run out this one. Who does he want to do with anyone when no one does his rotation? Forest strike will miss. No one hasn't decided on the target just yet. It'll be the avalanche into GH. Double stick chance of space. Kuro giving him that regeneration and Virtus Pro. They haven't got the control they were looking for. As Liquid will retreat.
That was super big by Kuro. He uses his Fate's Edict while GH was near. That stops the toss damage and completely nullifies VP's ability to do magic. There's a high chance that GH goes down if that didn't. Here. He's basically just shutting down a lot of these rotations. And that was the mid player teleporting all the way to the top lane to try to make a kill happen. It doesn't happen. Miracle gets power damage and just not good for VP.
They're still trying to force the top lane. The stomp is making it difficult for the player wave instead. On top of him, back to the jungle. He knows his 2 supports have that top lane locked down. Bottom lane, however, might be a little bit different. Ramses has a double damage rune and a level 4 metamorphosis just ready to go. So Mind Control will need a little bit of extra assistance to hold this bottom tier 1 tower.
At least he has Breathe Fire. He can reduce the damage that he's doing illusion-wise. It's one good thing, but he's going to play it this safe here. He does catch just the illusion though. That means Ramses doing full damage. This tower's going to take a lot of damage.
Yeah, fortification has to be burned by Team Liquid. ET's moved over, so again, GH understands where the attack is coming. He ends up getting the spirit damage in, so he'll say hello to Roger for 66 damage. The GH beating tanking.
Terrorblade loses a lot of health, but this is the danger territory here for Liquid, because that just means more Sunder potential if they catch a hero out of position. So they have to be very careful, and that's why GH moves these positions.
Sunstrike!
That was so sick. Roger doing his best there to get close to try to split the Sunstrike damage, but I think he would have had to commit a Burrow Strike to get closer faster. And a great play there by Liquid.
They go with that stun out. Roger has to Burrow Strike himself away. The people control. I can control Roger. So low on life. He needs some space to regenerate up GH. He's 9 HP. The Sunstrike will be off the mark. Spirits in 2, 1,
Gotta guess.
0. GH, he has to get it back under the tower. Chasing Roger. The cold feed. GH will run left. His Spirit runs right. Roger stays alive on 22 HP. Mind Control was a little bit too far away to get the extra damage. And now do we just wait the 8 seconds for the Sunstrike to come back off cooldown? Nah, they're gonna to shrine it up. He'll be fine.
Oh, he'll go for it.
And then he'll end up hitting solo.
I don't know if it'll work. Yeah, they're pinging now. Maybe he will not. They do get some tower damage. That kind of tells them that they want to shrine. And Mind Control might die for this, but he's gonna get the tower very well.
He's got one charge as well as the ability to get TP, but when there's that many stuns around him, not enough regeneration to save you Mind Control. So the bottom tower will be denied by Virtus Pro. And as the first kill for Virtus Pro took him over 12 minutes to claim.
And again, full slap in the mid towers. And deniable range once again. So maybe we won't see Liquid get any towers, but I mean, they're dead. They're just not last hits. That's good enough.
The Lycan Wolves are looking for it. Miracle will come in to help out too, but still no one denied the tower. But Tubman and Miracle were committing for this. So 2 towers down.
They just can't gap close and get the disable off. Like, all of their heroes, well, Liquid can do this bursty thing with Elder Titan and Sunstrikes, and it isn't really going to be until, like, Blink on Dragonite that somebody that's running away on VP side is super threatened. Because it takes a lot of heroes for Liquid to do these combos. One negative of what they're working with here. And we still haven't seen a Doom yet out of VP either, but Pasha has been around the map, showing up at the right times to pressure the right hero.
Miracle, he's ready to fight. The Dire Observer saw him go down ramp. He's now trying to go up the hill. There's your combination for Miracle and Ramsey's tries to sunder. The continue with the stun from Mind Control and Miracle to work while in middle lane the initiation was on to Matuman. So a call for quarter trade-off and VP will get damaged into a tier 1 tower now.
And still not too much. So they still have Doom ready to go. Kind of a cool build.
Toss. Throwing back into the river. Koro. No one with that early blink to take it is able to put it to work, and there's nothing Kuro can do to save his life. No one actually gets a double kill out of this. And Virtus Pro keep the pressure up. But they're still doing split push. Mind Control is on top of that tier 1 tower.
And during this whole time, the best thing about split push is usually killing an entire creep wave. So even if Mind Control does die for these pushes, he's getting closer and closer to Blink Dagger, which at that point is just going to make him a great ganking and team fight hero. So it's going fine for VP. They technically have an advantage in terms of gold, but Liquid seems to be getting a little bit more out of them, perhaps.
Yeah, your technical advantage, you're right, like it's only ever spiked just slightly over the 1k mark. Gold-wise advantage for Virtus Pro.
If Liquid had gone to towers, they'd just certainly be in a big gold advantage right now. Maybe not big, but a gold advantage.
I'm still waiting for Doom. Bottom lane, Pirate Strike is out. They found Thunderman. He's looking to get out of this one. The epicenter, there's too much slow, or too much damage, and Roger will get the kill onto Matumba.
Pretty easy right now. On the other side of the map, Ramses is sitting to push out the top lane, but Liquid setting up for this one. Yep. This could definitely be a kill if they the stomp?
No, they need that stomp to happen so the Sunstrike can connect. It's almost max X-Doom. It's onto mind control. Ramsey turning into Metamorphosis. Kuro was there to protect him as long as he possibly can. Just give more life reach, generation, but the solo with no one also arrive into the party. They'll group them together. Tossing Kuro in. Mind control and Kuro both going down to the 3 position Doombringer.
It was a good attempt at a save, but that was just way too much damage. They were taking magic, they were taking tons of terrible physical that whole duration. And a great chase and definitely good use of Doom. VP's not going to slow down, they'll look for the next kill. Matoma Man's still been ultra pressured here. They know he just responded. Look at this here. Straight. They knew where he would be. They just have the gap close.
The observer gives them all the information that they require. So they're waiting for everything to get brought down. Ice Blast. Pop. And goodbye. I like in the jungle is no longer a safety zone. It's a danger zone.
It's just sick how they did that. They didn't even defend Ramsey's push in the top lane. They knew that Liquid was not going to be able to defend right now, so they instantly smoke and go where he's going to farm. And by doing so, it means that Ramsey's at perfect efficiency, and then they can instantly transition to the next objective. So they took this one objective point, they turned it into a kill and a second tower. The VP is now all of a sudden in a huge position win.
And they're going to keep the pressure up. Blink Dagger is not there for DD. We don't have that initiation. All they have is the Spirit Stomp for GH to solve the attack. But it's still points up in natural order. It's all. It's a 3-2 currently for GH. He needs some space, he needs some levels. Very under level ET.
It's okay though, because he can turn gangs around. And once enemy heroes die in his vicinity, he's going to get power leveled by the much higher level opponents. And I don't think it's a huge deal if he doesn't have his ultimate, for example. I'm more worried about maybe some natural order levels, since they are having a lot of trouble getting kills. So VP will take a small moment where they actually back up and grab some farm, but it just means they're going to grab things from the base. It's like this blink on Doom, which now makes his life a lot easier.
Miracle living in a little bit of fear.
I'll take that.
Hiding in the tree line on the bottom as a form and smoke up from Liquid, hoping for some kind of option. But Miracle's still not showing himself. He only wants to fight under the tower. The Ice Blast, well, okay.
He's just very worried about the VP diving right now.
Oh, here they come. Team Liquid. Liquid stun. They want the Terrorblade. The Sunstrike may help them. They're doing it. In fact, it does do it. Ramsey's ball. Still 1-1. Trade off it. That line had really no say in his own death. Asha on the back of Kuro, mind control, they're split up. That's the medic as well as the primary carry. Kuro can't get enough damage out. The mind control can blink and get the stun. Yes! Avalanche from no one was a pebble away from connecting.
So a small mistake there, needed to attack to prevent the blink. link into the trees, but ultimately they tried to finish off with a toss and not long enough on the cooldown. But either way, Liquid knew the reason Miracle was sitting so back because they knew that VP was either healing or that they were on a pressure move to the top tier 2. So they played it well, they initiated, but they just didn't quite have enough damage to clean up the rest of the fight. They pick up the Terrorblade though, and that's definitely the best and most dangerous tier to kill this card.
Yeah. And the kill went to Miracle during the fight too, so he's now top net on the field. Roger on the run will be easily successful. Team Liquid wanting to fight when Shapeshift is down, Dragon Form is down.
Tiny looking for kills again, and they know where Man likes to farm.
And inside of his own jungle, it's not like he's an anti-mage, he's more maneuverable. You're already going to start with the Reflexo, but Summerman trying to get back to his tier 2 tower. Support is coming in from Team Liquid. Hematumbas survive long enough. No, he cannot. The final tree snap will break his back. Solo and Roger are starting to flank around the side too, so he can jump in for the initiation, and the combination was all on the illusion of Solo. It was illusion through to Roger, and then Solo got the blind together. Lost Thomas protecting mic control for the moment. Kuro to give him more life.